All right, Kyren Williams is here, one of the best running backs in football. He is almost halfway to his third straight 1,000-yard season. He's here with Call of Duty Black Ops 7. We're going to talk about that a lot. What's going on, man?
Not much. How you doing, Kevin? You good?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I'm just trying to get through the season, and I know this time of year is special for a lot of players because Call of Duty comes out, and
Yes.
you gotta get in the thick of it. It's almost like you have two seasons. Take me through first of all initial impressions and just kind of what Call of Duty is all about for you.
For me, Call of Duty has been everything. I remember just being able coming home from school and middle school and waiting to get on a game and to play Call of Duty, especially Black Ops. I think Black Ops
Yeah.
just holds um a very found place in my heart because that's the game that we used to stay up playing all night when I was in middle school. And so being able to come to Black Ops 7, it's gonna be along the same feelings for me, like getting home from practice and I can't wait to get on the game. Like that's gonna be the first thing I think about. Like when I get done taking out the pads, like okay, how fast am I gonna shower to get on to go get on Black Ops 7? So I'm excited.
Great. All right. Let's talk about your season. Give us I love when I have NFL players on and in the thick of it. Give me a self scout of your season so far. Like if you're not Kyren Williams, you're watching Kyren Williams tape, what are you seeing about 2025 Kyren Williams so far?
Yeah, I mean he's playing hard, he's playing aggressive, he's playing with intent. He's showing that he's able to play in all three phases. I hate talking to third person, but I'm gonna talk in third. I just realized that. But no, I'm able. I'm showing that I'm able to play in all three
Yeah.
phases of running the ball, catching the ball, and blocking. So for me, up until this point, I feel like I'm doing that well. But I have a lot more to show. I have a lot more tackles to break. I had a lot more explosives to make happen. And I just got to be focused on hitting the gap vertical, getting downhill, stepping on the safety's toes, and making those guys miss at the third level. So I say I want to be great. There's a lot more opportunities for me to go out there and to be great, and that's what I'm focused on and excited for.
You mentioned the going through contact, breaking tackles. You're top 10 in the NFL this year in yards after contact. Going into this year, I think you were top 10 in forced missed tackles and broken tackles. We had Bijan Robinson on a couple weeks ago, and he's obviously one of the masters at that, about
Yeah,
just talking about how to fight through contact and what even goes into that. I'm curious how you view that. Like, for
yeah,
his thing is just, if you initiate contact, you can kind of dictate the terms, that kind of thing. But
right.
for you, like, how do you if a high school running back comes to you and says, "Hey, I want to learn how to, fight through contact," what does that entail, Kyron?
I think first it comes with mentality, just like kind of what Bijan said. If you lay the wood first, you attack them first, it's gonna be a lot more likely to be on your side of breaking that tackle. But for me, it's definitely just dropping my pads, getting low, bending at your knees and not at your waist, and having that lay drive and the most important thing is keeping your head up because I feel like as running backs, you think that if you keep your head down and you turn your feet, you're gonna be able to keep going and keep excelling. But in reality, you really just fall on your face. You really just fall on um, your face because of the momentum that you bring in towards that opponent. That when you hit them and you keep your head down and you keep your feet churning, you really just goes towards the ground. So me, it's keeping my head up, and running through tackles, and obviously keeping my feet going when I do make contact.
Yeah. Obviously sharing a backfield with Matthew Stafford is special. And some of the throws he makes are just unbelievable. What is the best throw you've seen Matthew Stafford make standing next to him?
um, let's see here. So there was this one throw, and it's not really a crazy throw, but he just dictates defenders so much that
Yeah.
this was the one time that I was on the field that I realized that I was running to a flat and there's a bench route behind me, and the defender was kind of sinking into a zone look where he's either trying to play me and play the defender and play the receiver behind him, and so Matthew just like turned his shoulders, turned. He just made it look like he was about to throw it to me so that defender could sink, and he put it right over his head to D Rob and on the bench route. And I just remember, like, I remember him feeling. I remember if him like when he did that, it felt like he was going to throw it to me, and I can feel the defender come down, and try to cover me, and then he just threw it right over his head. So I remember, like, I even like mid play, you can see me be like, "Yeah, good, like good, like oh my gosh, like he got me, like he faked me out so well that like I'm like, oh yeah, this man is different, man. He really dictates to what defenders do.
That's incredible. Who was that against? Do you remember?
It was against the Browns. It
Okay.
was going towards I don't know. It was going towards probably the south end zone
Yeah.
on the right hand side. Yeah, bro. I remember I'm like, holy shoot, because I could feel the defender react to what he just did and then threw it right over his head like dummy.
That's incredible. Is that the way you must look at linebackers and DB's eyes all the time, and they just have no idea what the hell is going on, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen that clip of when we played the Indianapolis Colts in the
Yeah.
first touchdown to Devontae when he said, "Don't look at me." That's real deal. You better not look at him.
That's really incredible. McVay obviously is there. I have a couple questions about him. When we have really smart people who are coached by really smart people and who are smart themselves, I always want to pick their brain. Like, what is the most mind-blowing thing that they've taught you about football? Being a Sean McVay running back, that means something because of the way he values the position, the way he values the blocking schemes, the way he's able to use. I think Matt LaFleur called it I think both McVay and Shanahan called it the illusion of complexity, right? Where it's like
Yeah.
everything comes off the run game and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I want to start here. The number one thing that would blow people's minds that Sean McVay has taught you about football is what, Kyren?
Hmm. When you said blow your mind, now I'm trying to think of something crazy. I had something before. Um, I would say one thing that blows my mind that he does as a coach was his recollection of plays. Like,
Yeah.
um, we were just in a meeting not too long ago, and he was talking about a play that we were in Baltimore. He was talking about a screen that Robert Woods hit for like 70 yards. He said, "Yo, Coach LaFleur, pull up this play. It was on the 33-yard line on the right hash. We threw a screen to the right, and he split it right down the middle." And like we were looking at some people in the background, and he explained everything to a T about that play. And then when the play came on, everything that he just said about that play happened in that play. And we all just started laughing and whatnot. But I would say what he has helped me as a running back, which just actually sounds crazy. He's really taught me how to be a better or set up my blocks better for my linemen. Because he always talks
Oh,
about runners make better blockers, you know. So being able to press the heels of the lineman and be able to make it seem like I'm going to one place and I'm really just setting you up to go somewhere else. That's what he's taught me as a running back and in this position of being here. Because we run a lot of mid zone, wide zones,
yeah.
all that type of stuff. And so that's all about reading and pressing. Like you got to read and press your blocks. Once you feel like it's time to get back, you got to be able to go one gap at a time. And I think he's really taught me just really continuing and consistently press the heels of my linemen so that I can, set up those block and make them better blockers.
Uh, One of the things Sean McVay is really good at, that whole tree is really good at, is play sequencing, and just kind of saying, "Hey, we're gonna call this to set up this." Can
Right.
you give me an example of a time where like you could see that unfurling itself in real time, where you're like, "Oh man, we're really setting this up."
Yeah. It happened in the Houston game when we played. I think it was a third down. And everybody, I mean, it's not hard to know when we get into this certain formation, you think something is going to happen. And the exact opposite thing had happened, but we knew exactly what the defense was going to do when we presented them with this because, we run the ball efficiently on short yardage. So we're going to act like we're going to run the ball and then slip one of our receivers and then it worked. Like I remember going into practice like, okay, I see how they're going to use this play. We're going to run, and then do this play, and he threw it right over his head. The safety walked down thinking it was going to be a run. The receiver slipped them to the flat, and it was there for the first down. And I was like, like not the first time, but that's definitely one of the times this year I remember like that's what he talks about, that illusion of complexity. Like you think that we're running one thing and it's the exact opposite.
Do you get excited pre-snap when that happens? When you're just like, "Oh, I think we got them."
Well, I don't honestly. I'm not really reading the pre-snap. I'm reading my
Hmm.
reads and where I got to do. But when I know that a play happens, I know like when we got that first down, I knew that play worked for what it was supposed to work for. Like we got exactly what we wanted, the look that we wanted, and the reaction that we wanted. So I was like, that's a good play call.
Absolutely. This is betting is brought to you by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Bet $10 to get $100 in bonus bets when you use code Clark 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. I'm going to cop out here. Okay. Because I had my first loss over the weekend. I had started with 4 straight winners when betting against the spread. And then I said in the segment, you guys remember, I want to pick the Jets. My producer talked me out of it. He said, "You really want to do the Jets? You really want to stake your perfect on the Jets?" The Jets covered. Guess who didn't cover it? The Panthers, who got their ass kicked. Oops. But I actually believed in the Panthers. So, Miles, you're off the hook. You were right, by the way. It's process over results. Process over results. Here's my process: Pittsburgh Steelers 3.5 point underdog to the Indianapolis Colts, 1 p.m. game. I feel like this could be a primetime game. Although we have an amazing primetime game or national game with Chiefs Bills. And see, I'll tell you what, Seahawks Commanders is really interesting on Sunday night. Cardinals Cowboys. Cowboys can score. It's Monday night. All right. Anyway, TJ Watt only had 3 pressures on 33 pass rushes against the Packers on Sunday. And I'm thinking that this is going to be, again, this is just classic Tomlin. Everyone's talking about the Colts. Everyone's putting Daniel Jones in the Hall of Fame. Everybody's talking about, I mean, all week long. Everybody's saying, the Colts are for real, and they are for real. But this is where Steelers defense gets better. This is where Mike Tomlin shines, and Aaron Rodgers makes the plays he needs to make. Give me the Steelers at home, 3.5-point favorites. We're getting back on the winning streak. Let's go. You signed a new contract in August, $33 million. Give me the splurge buy. You sign it, and then the splurge buy is what, Kyren?
Oh man, I really didn't splurge too much. I really tried to continue. I try to save my money as much as I possible, but I definitely gave some to my mom, my sisters, my dad, but spent a little for myself. I got a little car, but it wasn't really anything crazy.
What's the Kyren Williams savings plan? Like, how do you say you want to save as much money as possible? What are your rules?
I got a financial advisor. So whenever I hit a certain amount of money in my account, I tell them to take it out and put it into like the stocks and all the things that we're allowing our money to work for us for. And so for me, I try to tell them all the time, I'm still trying to live like a college student before NIL. I know, see, because I was in college when there was no NIL, and we was over there, you saving every penny we could get. And so that's how I try to tell them now, like even now that I'm in the league, like, I want to live like a college student. Like I want to just pay my rent. I got food at the facility that I'll eat. And so I don't really need too much of anything else, So that's kind of what I tell them.
So we got the styrofoam boxes at the facility coming back home. That's what we got going on. I've see that in many a facility.
Yeah.
And then we got is it an apartment or a house?
I got a house. So I just moved into a house this year. So
it's a splurge.
Yeah, I would say that's probably a little splurge, but it's a rental. I didn't buy anything.
It's a rental.
Yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then everything else, we're trying to live like it's 2021 in South Bend.
Literally, that's exactly what I'm trying to be like, man. I'm trying to not do too much now that I got what I worked for. I want to be able to have it to when it's done too.
I have to ask you, your former coach Brian Kelly got fired over the weekend. What do you think is next for him, and why didn't that work out down there?
I can't say why. I wasn't down there to know the exact real reasons why it didn't work out. But obviously, when you don't win in the SEC, it's a lot more. It's a lot harder for you to keep your job. It seems like to me. But I don't know. I don't know what's next for Coach Kelly. I would hope that, he takes just a little bit of time off where he can kick his feet up and relax and see what it really is that he wants to do next. Because I thought when Coach Kelly was in our game, he was a great coach, but even a better leader. Like he showed you how to lead. He showed you how to be a person of like a person that we lived to at a standard that we did have when we were there. And so for me, he did nothing but great things for me. And so I just would want him to be able to take some time to relax and not, stress too much over, getting fired or whatnot.
Yeah. Your favorite running back to watch in the league right now?
Ooh, either Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Bijan. I like Jameer. I like Josh Jacobs. I like James Cook, Chris McCaffrey, all of them boys.
That's a lot.
I like watching all of them.
Do you sit on YouTube, TikTok? How do you just watching film?
Yeah, either film. Like if they had played a team that I'm playing, I'm definitely gonna watch their games. But no, definitely TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. They're always putting on highlights, and I'm seeing that. I'm like, yeah, man, that's dope.
When you say you watch a running back, if you're facing a defense, is there a running back where you're like, hey, if I like a guy you think is so similar, where you're like, hey, if I can do this, he can do this kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't think of it like that. I think that I can do anything that any other back in the league can do, and so that's kind of like I'm not thinking about what did he do or what did he not do. I'm really just trying to see how he attacked the defense. Like, did he set him up? Was he pressing his blocks? Was he making a miss in space? Was he using his speed to attack them? What kind of what kind of flow did he have the linebackers create when he was pressing the line of scrimmage like that? Just little things like that. I know that everybody's great, and I know that you're here in the NFL for a reason because
Yeah.
obviously you can play the game of football at a very high level, and so to me, I just take it as like, man, what do they do? What are they doing to allow them to be successful that game?
Yep. Couple more for you, rapid fire. We do something called badasses. Normally, when I'm home, we have a big wall of badass players, and we pin them up there. Give me the biggest badass you've ever played with, any level. Could be a Ram, could be Notre Dame. Doesn't matter.
Oh,
Just the big badass that you were a
oh,
teammate with.
dang, it's two of them.
All right, give me
Oh,
two. Give me two.
I bet it's another day. Kyle Hamilton and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
All right, take me through. First of all, let's go through Kyle Hamilton. He's been on this show. He's a friend of the show. Great guy.
It's just simple. I mean, I think he was able to cover the field better than any defender in the NFL and any outfielder in the MLB. I think he's got the range to track balls down from
Yeah.
one hash to another. I mean, we've seen it in college when he made those two plays in Florida State, bro. That was like jaw dropping to me. I'm like, oh, this man is different. This man is real life different. I mean, he's taken from college to the NFL, and so I think that's what makes him really special. Like he's been a dominant force. Obviously, he changed the market for the safeties this year, and he's doing great things. And so for me, it was a no brainer. And then Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah,
Yeah.
like it's unfortunate that his career got cut short due to injury. But like while he was playing and while he was doing the things that he was doing, like the dude was a menace. Like I remember in
Yeah.
college, like bro, like kickoffs, you already knowing he's going down there and he's smacking somebody. Like he's setting the tone from the first jump, from the first kickoff. Woo's gonna go down there and smack something. And in the NFL, he was just playing all over the place. Like I just think he's a really just different type of player I've ever played with.
Yep, I have great explanations. Last thing called hypothetical theater. All right, so you said you can do anything that anybody else does, but if you could take one move from another running back and put it into your body, anything could be like could be a stiff arm, could be a way guys change direction. What are you taking and giving to yourself?
From current running backs or any running
Yeah,
back.
it doesn't matter. Any running back ever, it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna go Barry Sanders in the way that he was able to change directions, like you said. Like I
Uh,
had the vision to be able to see where the cuts was going, where the lanes, where the seams were at to go hit, and then he made them hit. And then he didn't just hit them; he would make you miss and then hit them. I like guys like that, and kind of even too. I'm gonna always do too much. I'm talking about even thinking about LaShawn McCoy,
yeah,
backs like that too, who are just able to set you up, and make you look silly. Because I really think people think the running back position we just get the ball and we're just running. Like it's not just only that. We're trying to set up the defense. We're trying to set up our blocks most importantly so that we can hit those second level runs and whatnot.
all right, Kyren Williams. Anything else about Call of Duty I need to know?
That is the best game ever.
Excellent. All right, thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you.